Yeah.
How would you rate with Mr. President, with the Minister of Works, Housing, and all of that? Like you said, a few roads seem to be getting a facelift. We saw the airports fixed in 6 weeks.
Rail as well.
The rail, there are a lot of contracts being awarded all over the place. Doesn't that excite you?
You see, we cannot continue. I cannot just jump to the issue of infrastructure without still diving into this issue of corruption, because that was the key reason why many people voted corruption, and that the president lived a simple life, and that if he comes, he was going to sell off the private jet, the presidential jet, he was going to be flying maybe economy, he was going to go to public hospitals. You know, his children, he may even have withdrawn his children from the UK, you know, and bring them back home so that they finish here and all that. So those were the kind of campaign they ran. They ran a campaign of deception. They played on the gullibility of innocent Nigerians who always want to see a messiah, who their quest for to see a messiah, somebody who is unblemished. We are in this country, even in the north where the president comes from. If his daughter had married Ndimi's son before that 2015 election, they wouldn't have voted for him, even in the north where he comes from. The president, you know, a preacher must practice what he preaches. The president has lived a double life. What he told Nigerians during their campaign and the reality when he became president. All the presidential jets are still here with us. The president does not, even Femi Adesina said that he doesn't know if the president goes to Aso Rock Clinic. And that Aso Rock Clinic, over 3 billion was budgeted for it last year, 3.7 billion. Now, you will recall that in early 2016, a court ruled that this government must publish all the loots recovered, and that it must create a website, and that all those the details of all the loot recovered must be published on that website. Do you know that this government has disobeyed so many court orders? So there's no even need for us to bother about whether the government has disobeyed that order. Do you know that even my organization, Concern Nigerians, we have written to the EFCC chairman, please, we wrote to him about 2 months ago, we wrote again last month. Can you just avail us the list of everyone who has either returned money or you recovered money from? They will not answer you. You see, in an attempt to celebrate 2 years of nothing, the Attorney General of the Federation 2 days ago rolled out list of the achievement. Among the list of achievement, he said that this government had recovered 59.9 billion naira. And you know the irony of it all was that he listed the 50 billion naira MTN fine among the money that was recovered by the government. It is quite interesting that when my brother Dayo talks about infrastructure, you know, one begins to wonder, are we in the same country or there's another country? Because even Fashola cannot stand here and say that they are doing roads. Which roads? The Lagos-Ibadan Express Road that I was talking about, started by the last administration. I myself drove on that road. So I know the level of work on that road. And I had driven on the road not too long ago, and I cannot see what he says is being done there. And look at the issue of power. Even here, I'm very sure now that we are running on Gen in this studio, and it's everywhere. It has gone from bad to worse. Look at the statistics. In 2016 alone, the National Bureau of Statistics said 3.6 million people lost their jobs in 2016 alone. Since this government came into power, we have lost more than over 5 million jobs.
And we've also created a lot.
Well, if you created jobs, let us see where the jobs are. Because the fact remains that this government has dealt a great blow to Boko Haram in the northeast, no doubt. But Boko Haram has not been defeated, and the government should stop saying they have defeated Boko Haram. The government should work on how to defeat Boko Haram.
I want to go to Dayo now, leading from your talk about unemployment and the economy now, because it's been a disaster, for want of a better word. Everybody knows this. Even the government knows it. And many people have come out and say, renowned economists have come out and said, as much as the recession happened and we knew that we're going to prepare ourselves for tough times, it was avoidable. And a lot of the policies that were put out were very wrong policies. And, okay, let's admit there were mistakes, but nobody's head has rolled, nothing has happened to people who have done. With regards to the economy, 2 years, what would you say for this presidency?
Okay, I think one thing that we must also understand is that we've taken over from a very worse and bad situation. A very, very worse situation. 16 years of abnormal rule. I wouldn't say the whole 16 years was abnormal, because they were part of that 16 years that were obviously a boom for economy. I remember that, you know, the earlier part of the dispensation, we had some economic boom. We were able to save some money, but the last administration really depleted our resources. And it's important that, you know, we understand the impact of what we met on ground and how much challenges the administration had to face in even getting itself. There were a lot of things that we're finding out now that were not even in the end of a note. Nobody was aware that we had some billions of money stashed in a flat in Ikoyi from the last administration. So, you know, getting into the government, settling down, takes a lot of work. Identifying, we actually, for example, just today or yesterday, the acting president just appointed people on the board of, I think, the Nigerian Population Commission or Railway Corporation or something like commission or something in the last 2 days. We're even still trying to ensure that we can capture the diversity of the challenges that we met on ground. So we might not see the impact of what is happening now, but what is important is that we're in a motion, and we're not in one place like on a treadmill, you know, rotating. We're having a lot of progress in not just even at the federal, but even in APC state. Look at what is happening in Lagos, for example.
Let's take a break on that thought. We'll come back and, of course, expand more on this conversation. Hopefully we get to hit the nail on the head, because I know there's always a lot to talk about with regards to Nigeria. I'll see you guys in a moment.